first is, of course, my husband. My second is the School of Architecture and Planning, which is a wonderful place to spend a life. And my third is this. Each day on my way to work, I drive through a majestic 19th century industrial landscape filled with architectural remnants of Buffalo's once thriving grain industries. As massive as they are, the Buffalo grain elevators possess a quality of lightness, perhaps because the reflection is often on the surface of the Buffalo River. Perhaps because they are slowly disintegrating. Perhaps because they house the ghosts of men who perform the kind of physical labor that we no longer know. Maybe it is simply that these elevators capture the sky in such a way that they appear to be constructed of light and shadow rather than concrete. The elevators are central to both my play and work in the Department of Architecture at the University at Buffalo. For more than, I hate to admit, 25 years now, my beginning students have toured them via boat during the first week of classes. It is their introduction to architecture Buffalo style. Students in my upper level studios have taken on projects in these structures. One studio developed devices that literally climbed the grain silo interiors with methods reminiscent of their slip-form construction. Other students have designed ways to safely transport people through all areas of the elevators. Still others have proposed ways for the Buffalo Philharmonic to play through the silos to a rooftop audience. My husband and I, and that is a sight to behold and hear, my husband and I have taken scores of design professors around the world to experience these unusual spaces and forms made for grain rather than people. We've climbed marine legs and probably illegally we picnicked on the roof. We've speculated what these structures might become, admired what they were, and honored what they are today. Really, at this point, empty icons from a bygone era. Part of the recent mystique of the elevators is their netherworld nature. They are forbidden territory. Paintball splatters spot the walls of concrete central. Burned out car bodies lurk in its fields. Geese droppings cover floors. Water from the Buffalo River laps in the concrete hollows below, hiding whatever might be beneath. The silence of it all is heavy with what we might not actually want to know. These elevators form a place that is still peripheral, an increasingly valuable commodity in this mega-connected world. Last week, yet another group toured Marine and Perot and the Malthouse and the American. The students had seen the exteriors of these elevators many times, but they were awestruck by the interiors. They expected to see dingy caverns and instead found spaces that rivaled Le Corbusier's Church at Firminy, Cannes Sherry Bangla and the Alhambra. After our guides discussed the industrial history, traced the paths of the brain circulation and showed us the mechanics, they left us on our own just to take it all in. At first, we could just not resist ducking our heads into the silo funnels to hear our own voices waft up 120 feet and echo round and round back down. All sounds became angel choruses. Eventually, though, we settled into drawing, each of us finding a special spot that revealed the interplay of material